Hello, my darling community. Oh, wow. I've just been thinking about all of you the past few days and what's going on in the world and how tense so many people are. And so there's so much anxiety and all this war and these things that are happening with the Supreme Court and the voters, not being able to get to the polls and repression. That's what I'm looking for, voter repression. And all these things. And there's so much that everybody's like worrying about. There's just this great anxiety, this underlying deep anxiety that we all have. And I know that so many of you know that we're in this great, incredible change of humanity and humanity consciousness. And so one of the things I really wanted to share with you today was one of the things my teacher told me back many, many years ago, back in the 70s, was he said, there's no such thing as evil. There are only counter-evolutionary forces. And that really helps me get through a lot of the time, because we're in the middle of this major evolution, this huge evolution in human consciousness. And we're moving from this top-down kind of culture based on fear and power over others, and into a loving, caring, compassionate world where we love our Mother Earth and we take care of her and we communicate with her and she takes care of us, and we're members of a great, wonderful, universal family of light. And so as this is true, it's, we just have to keep reconnecting to that truth. But the counter-evolutionary forces don't want to give up. They want to hold back. They want to hold us. They want to keep holding us back. But it's evolution. You can't stop evolution. You can resist and resist, but evolution's going to happen. And evolution really is about moving toward the light, moving with the light, moving toward love, being motivated by love, by the greater love, by the love that is all creation, the love that's created the universe and before. So one of the things that I know is really important during this time is to not separate ourselves. And I'm talking about ourselves being people on a spiritual path, people who are conscious, people who are seeing a bigger picture. But we also have to be in the world. And spiritual people and spirituality has been much in the past, historically, outside of the world. But for true spirituality and what we're coming to understand again is that the world the Mother Earth is a spiritual being. She's a being of light, of high consciousness, and we're part of her. And so to kind of try to step outside of her and not be part of her evolution, which is our evolution, and the evolution of all parts of Mother Earth, and then of course of our galaxy, of our solar system and our galaxy, we have to participate. We have to participate, right? With all this stuff going on. And some ways to participate are to, go out in the streets and protest nonviolently, work for candidates who hold the same vision as we do, or you do. We all have particularly, individual, but also a collective caring for helping the world make this change. So when you're out, and I know this from experience as an activist in my younger days, very much of an activist out in the streets protesting, and over the years, when there's a problem and you go out and you actually act to change it, your focus is on the change and what you're doing. And so the anxiety lessens. But when we just are sitting at home and feeling like there's nothing we can do, possibly because, we're older, or it doesn't seem right to be out in it, that doesn't mean that you can't be an activist. You can be a spiritual activist. You can work with all the light beings. They're part of a great planetary community that are working all the time, sending light through all the grids, through all the all the planetary grids, to keep pumping the light in and the love in, because it's that energy that's doing the change. And so let's talk a little bit about energy. Energy, everything is energy. We all know that, right? But what we put our energy into expands it. If you're feeling scared, and then you really think about all the things that are scary, your energy gets more and more fear is created, right? More and more fear is created by the more fear you put out. So if there's a lot of fear in the world right now, if you join that fear, you, who is a spiritual being, puts your fear into the fear, you're helping it have power. You're giving it energy. And that energy is, the fear is taking that energy and pulsing it right back at us, right back at you. But if instead, and you can talk about other emotions like hate and anger, and separation, and being mad at the other, the one that's perpetrating the bad. Anything you put your energy, that kind of lower frequency energy into, helps it, gives it power, gives it strength. But if instead you send love and light into the center of what is frightening or angry or causing you anxiety, and you are perpetrating the love. You are putting more energy into the love and the light, which then lessens the energy of fear and greed and anger and hate and separation. So what I do each day is I take a little chunk of time and I connect. I do a meditation with white light, which I know lots of you know about, and you can go to the website and do a white light meditation with me right there. It's easy. I'll put the I'll put the link below. And then you move up into your upper room, which many of you know about, which is where your white star lives. And then you can think of beaming your white star into the grids of all the planetary spiritual light worker activists that are holding all around the world. And all of a sudden you're there. You're part of it. You're part of a team that's working, and you're focusing on sending light. So you connect there with your light. And then because you're now part of this great team of healing light beings, which are just all people. And then there are beings from higher vibration, higher dimensions too. But as soon as you join, and it's very easy to join, you just say, can I join? And you're welcomed in. You're just welcomed in. And then as soon as you've joined, you then can use the group energy because you're connected in, and focus the light on whatever particular thing is calling your attention at that moment. That's what I do. Whatever is calling my attention in the morning that's really upsetting, something that's happened that I heard about that happened in Ukraine, or when the Roe versus Wade thing is like spewing everywhere, I choose one and I just turn on my white star, connect with all of the grid, with all of the light workers, and then I focus my light into the center of what I am been called to focus on. And I can tell I've been called to focus on it because it's made me feel anxious or mad or righteously indignant. God damn that. Oh, let's send light. So, and then, then I pour light through my whole body so that that begins to cleanse too, as I'm sending light into the center of whatever it is that is causing me anxiety. And then I am a participant in creating this as a better world, in making this happen, in bringing this love and light and compassion into the world. I'm not just a bystander, and I'm also not a great spiritual worker that lives up here and knows that I'm going to be fine, and that the lesser people are not going to make it, because there's a whole lot of that stuff that goes on in spiritual, in some spiritual communities, that this kind of arrogance that we as light workers are going to be fine, and we're going to ascend, and others aren't going to ascend, and we're all part of this one family. We're part of humanity. Each one of us has a part to play in this great change of human consciousness that's happening on our planet right now. We're all called. We're here, particularly because we're here. And we're here to fill ourselves with love, care for ourselves, and at the same time, care for each other, and then become a spiritual activist. I love Jane Fonda. I love watching all of this activism she does. It's so great. And she gets so much done. And she's very focused. She knows what she's doing. So she feels less anxious. She's very aware of the problem. And yes, this isn't about denying the problem. This is about taking a stance for making it, changing it. And light energy, which is love energy. It's just the light is actually the vehicle that love travels in through the universe. So when you send light into something, you are sending love, and that is helping make the change. So that you as a spirit, what Gandhi said, the wonderful quote that we all know is, be the change you want to see in the world. If being a spiritual light worker activist is a change we'd all like to see. If we're not fighting against and being part of the duality, separating ourselves, and we simply join the light workers of the world consciously, and know that we have the power. We have the power with love and light to be the change. Be the change. And being an activist for it takes us out of ourselves and out of our little fears and opens us up to receive so much more light and love energy, because we've now consciously joined the light workers, joined the healers of the whole planetary grid. And there are no dues to pay. You don't have to get initiated. You don't have to show up. You don't have to do anything but show up. And you do have to show up. And you have to show up every day. Every day. And so you pay attention to what's going on in the world. You don't get sucked into watching the news and getting into all the drama and the theatrics that all of the media is presenting. But you do take note of what's happening and take note of how that's making you feel, and then step into your own power as a light worker and begin to, as a light worker, send love and light into the center of it. It doesn't mean you have to love. You don't have to love what you're sending the light into. The light and love are its own thing. You're just being the director of it. You're just sending the light. You don't have to get all, if you know somebody that is, for instance, very much against all that you believe in, and you think, oh, you don't want to, it's really hard to just say, I'm going to love that person anyway. That's all, it's pretty almost impossible, and if you can't do that, that's fine. But this is a different thing. This isn't you sending your love. It is you connecting with all the love and all the light and being a conduit to send it into the center of the fear, the anger, the hate, and the counter-evolutionary force. And so you can just do this like for 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. And now you have purpose, because the thing about that's going on is there's this feeling of powerlessness. How we're powerless. How do we change this? It's been this way for thousands and thousands of years. It's not going to get any better. How many times have you heard that? And how many times maybe you've said that? There's no way to make it any better. I'm saying there is. I'm saying that we're already making it better. And this is just a tool. This is just a tool to connect with. And the more, and day that you sit down and spend 10 minutes connecting with all these incredible beings of light that are surrounding the planet, the planetary light workers, the planetary light bearers, you're going to be connected with that light, with that power. And it's yours too, because you're sending your light up there and then out and lighting your star right here above your head, right here, right here. So that's what I wanted to share with you this week. And just go to the meditation at the link below and do that little white light meditation so that you really get a sense of it and their star. And then just try this, see what happens. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for being in my community. And my new radio show is coming out on Thursday at 8 and then Sunday at 10. And that's below too. And I'm talking about compassion. And I don't have a guest this year. I just have me talking about self-compassion. So enjoy. Blessings. Mwah. Love you all.